Morning, Nigel. Should we start with a number count? Should we have a roll call ahead of Saturday? How's Kyle Noyle, firstly?
Doubtful. I don't think he'll be out for Saturday. He's the first one to add to the list of the others. Still waiting on news of two or three others. Jordan Barry, I would think he'll be out as well with a groin issue. And then we'll see how the others are training this week, if anybody can come back. But it's difficult to reel them off because there's that many of them, you know. You need a piece of paper or something in front of you to get them all. But I think we're quickly approaching double figures now.
How's Aaron Lewis? He limped off.
Yeah, he's another one that'll be a doubt for the weekend. It's just how they recover this week. Bearing in mind we've got Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, and then the busy Christmas period. It's going to be a balancing act on exactly who we risk on Saturday.
Joe Gardner was ill. Has he recovered?
Yeah, Joe's going to do a little bit of training later in the week. I told you we're going to be very cautious with him and make sure he's right. But him and Max Dickoff have probably got the best chances of being available for the weekend.
Ryan Sweeney also nursing an illness.
Yeah, he's okay. Cleared up over the weekend. Just one of these bugs that's going around, and he should be available for Saturday. So it'll be, I think, 3 or 4 out, 2 or 3 back.
Any further news on Research's scan? You said it was more positive after Saturday's game at Cardiff.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't as serious as we first feared. So we're just going to see how he is. He'll do some light training this week, and then we'll see how he goes.
Any other updates?
Not off the top of my head. No, the others are all long term. January, Hendry and Roberts and Bolton and Maris will be even longer. So they're the main 4 that are going to be long term.
How are you managing it all on the whole at this minute with players dropping like flies?
Well, we've not got a big training squad, certainly. There'll not be too many 11v11s going on. So the squad is as good as it can be to deal with it. I don't think any squad, though, in the country can deal with 8 and 10 people out, especially the important players, and on Saturday, 7 attacking players, I was surprised because I think afterwards the lady from Sky said, well, you've only had 1 shot on target, when you've got the likes of Roberts and Maris and Oates and, your real creative and attacking players missing, it's going to be difficult to create. And I thought we had more than one anyway. Deji had one. I thought the header was going in from Fraser until it hit Will Evans. I thought Reedy shot from outside the box, so I thought it was a little bit harsh to say we only had one.
Yeah, it was that spell on the hour that was pivotal, wasn't it? I know you can come away from games saying if, buts or maybes, but you had a real good spell around the hour mark, and had one gone in, it could have been well different.
You never know. We played quite well first half as well, and when we're going 1-0 down because we've conceded from a set play. That's the biggest concern at the moment. The goals are similar in terms of we have to make more physical contact with the opposition. The ones against Huddersfield were similar, and then the quality players, but you have to get tighter, closer, get hold of them without giving penalties away from the set plays. So that was the biggest disappointment. But I don't think we played too badly. And as I say, at first half, if you defend the corner properly, you might go in 0-0. Then we have the spell, and you never know from there. But with what we had out there, I don't think we could have done, too much more. I thought the formation was okay. You lose Noyle after 10 minutes. Jordan steps in, wasn't too clever. 1 or 2 others, but generally it was as good as we could have expected, say, with the team we had out there.
FA Cup on Saturday away at Accrington Stanley. You can have 9 players on the bench, of course. Might you have to promote some of the under-18s? I say under-18s because many of the under-21s are out on loan.
Yes, we're going to look at that and have a count up, obviously, and see if we can get 1 or 2 on the bench. We always will do, that. I thought you were pitching yourself then. I thought
it's not that bad.
No, until you said under-18s, and then I thought,
no, you behave.
If there's a space on the bench, like we've got Jack Goodman on the bench at Cardiff on Saturday, couldn't quite get him on. Not sure if he's cup tied. We've got to check on that because he played earlier on in the season in one of the qualifying earlier rounds. So, but if we can get a couple of under-18s on, we'll always do that.
And you face Accrington Stanley, a side who have come into some good form. They're unbeaten in 7.
There you go. Good time to play them. They've kept a couple of clean sheets recently as well. One of the players we know very well, Faz Rawson, who did so well for us here. Lovely lad and one of the most honest centre-halves, I think, in the league. So it'd be nice to catch up with him. But I think they'll be looking at us and fancying the chances on Saturday.
You've had some real battles with them over the years whilst manager of Mansfield Town. Are you expecting much of the same at the Wham Stadium?
All the way through in the last 20-odd years with Burton as well, going through in the conference and below, when John Coleman was bringing them up through the leagues and into League One. We've had some good old games against them, and it's one of those places. The pitch is nice, lovely, but it's one of those grounds very, very difficult, very tight, and I think there'll be a few there, hopefully.
What will a game like this usually come down to?
I think attitude and character, and hopefully in our favour, a bit of quality if we can get it out there on the pitch. I think it'll be a tight game, certainly. One that we'll be practicing our penalties. I think it goes to penalties, doesn't it, if we draw? So we have to be very much aware of that as well.
Finally, just coming away from the first team, there's a match on the 3G behind you here at 2 o'clock today at OH Academy. The under-21s playing Grimsby. Who's going to get a run out?
Nobody in the first team. We can't risk anybody in that at all, So it'll be mainly the under-18s and any of the under-21s that didn't feature at their loan clubs on Saturday. But last thing we'll be doing is risking anybody this week.
And very finally, just while we speak about the under-18s, they've got a big match coming up at the One Call Stadium against Arsenal. What a night that will be for them.
Absolutely wonderful. And just reward as well for the two victories. You get drawn away from home. Kidderminster wasn't easy in the first round. And then you go to Barnsley, and it was a brilliant performance and result. Probably one of the best they've had here at that level. And the reward is Arsenal at home, which takes it onto a whole different level. But what a great experience for everybody, the coaching staff, the players, everything.